Hello kiddos, how are you all doing? Good? Okay. So yeah, today we are going to start with chapter 2, which is expressions. Yeah. So I want you to tell me what are expressions. You have any idea what expressions are? I'm not talking about facial expressions though. Okay. An expression is something which is a combination of variables and numerals. Okay. Let's take 2a plus 4b plus 3a. Okay, this is an expression. It is combination of what? You have numbers here and you also have variables here, right? The combination of numbers and variables gives you an expression. Clear? Understood? Okay, so let's just read what is written here. Before you start, you should know the basic of algebra. A plus A plus A equals 3 times A or 3A for short. No need for multiplication symbol when letters are used. This is called simplifying. So basically what he meant is, let's say we have A plus A plus A. Okay, so how many A's do you see here? There are 3, right? So just write 3 times A. That's it. There is an addition, but when you're counting how many such alphabet you have, then you will take it as times. Okay, you will count the alphabet and you will times that with the number of alphabet you see there. Okay, so it is 3 times A. That gives you 3A. Understood? You cannot write it like, is there any other way you will write this as? No, right? 3A is nothing but we have 3 A's here. Clear? But you cannot write 3A as A times A times A. If you write 3A as A times A times A, that gives you A cube. That goes in powers. Okay, so this isn't right. 3A means, it's just simple that we have 3 A's. A plus A plus A gives you 3A. A times A times A gives you A cube. Okay, the power indicates the multiplication of the variables here. Understood? But here the multiplication, the number which is getting multiplied with A, that shows that is nothing but the add-ons of the variable. Okay, so if there is 3 with a multiplication relation with the variable, that means we have 3 A's here. If it is 3B, that means we have 3 B's, which is B plus B plus B. Understood? What if it is B cube? It is B times B times B. Whenever you see a cube, that goes into multiplication. Okay, if you do not see a cube, you just see a variable and a number next to it. For suppose 4C, that means we have how many C's here? 4. So that gives you C plus C plus C plus C. How many C's do we see here? There are 4. That is why it is 4C. Clear? Understood? This is how you do that. This is how you solve expression. Yeah. Now next, A times 5 equals what? 5A. Write the number first. You always write the number first and then the variable next. A times B, what is it? It is multiplication, right? See, if you have a variable and a number together, let's take 4AB. These are together and you don't see any sign in between them. Whenever you see no sign, that means it is in multiplication. 4 times A times B. This is how you can write it. Or if you want to simplify this, then you can write what are the factors of 4? 2 times 2 times A times B. This is the more simplified way of writing this expression. Understood? All you need to know is, like, when you see no sign in between these variables and numbers, that means it is in multiplication form. Clear? If let's say you have A times B, that will be written as AB. It's the same, A times B or AB. We are just not showing the multiplication here. That's it. If it is not multiplication, then it would have been written in terms of A plus B or A minus B or A divided by B. Yeah. If you see these signs, that means you know what calculation they are going under, right? If you see no sign, that means it is simple that it is a multiplication. Clear? Now B times 3 times A. How can you write B times 3 times A? always number first, right? So 3, then comes which variable, a or b? That's right, it is a and then b. So it is 3ab. Clear? So look here, b times 3 times a equals 3ab for short. Number first, then letters in alphabetical order. Let's solve the example questions. Okay, so what do we have here? 1a, first one, 4 times p. What comes first? Variable, right? So this will be p4. 4p. What comes first? Number first and then the variable, right? So it is 4p. Next, t times 3. That is number first and then the variable, 3t. 3t. Yeah. Next, third one, h times k. hk. Yes. Now 4, a times b times c. That gives us a, b, c. Fifth one, 2 times 4m. Okay, see here we see numbers and a variable. So whenever you see numbers in multiplication, what do? We multiply. We simply multiply them. Okay, 2 times 4 is what? 8. So the answer is 8m. Now sixth one, 7y times 5. First multiply the numbers. If you have any numbers in your expression, first you need to multiply the numbers, then you multiply the variables. Okay, so 7 times 5, 35y. Seventh one, a times 2 times b. That gives you what? Do you see any other number except 2? No, right? So that is why it is just 2ab. A times b is ab, because you cannot multiply two different variables. Okay, you will get the same result at the end. Eighth one, 3n times 4u. 3 4s are 3 times 4 gives you what? That's right, it is 12. And n times u is nu. That's it, 12 nu. Now ninth one, 4t times 6r. 4 6 are 24 tr. That's how you do it. Is it simple? Okay. I hope you understood these questions. Now let's see, what do we have next? B, simplify. Let's simplify this one now. Question 1, B bit, it is simplify. So what is the first question we have here? P plus P plus P plus P plus P. How many P's do you see here? There are 5 in total, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It gives us 5 times P. That is nothing but 5P. Clear? This is how you write it. Next, second one, G plus G. How many G's do we have here? 2 G's, right? So that is simple. That is what I told you, 2G, which can also be written as 2 times G. That gives you 2G. Okay. Now the third one, B plus B plus B minus B equals what? Okay, let me tell you one simple trick here. Whenever you see a same number or variable, doesn't matter, it can be a number or variable with different signs, with one positive sign and the other variable of the same thing with negative sign, you can simply cancel them. Plus B minus B gets cancelled. So what is left? B plus B. That gives you 2B. The same example, in the same, I'm going to give you the same type of example. Let's say we have minus 2 plus 2. Okay, when you have the same number with different signs, then you can simply cancel them. Minus 2 plus 2 gets cancelled. If you have minus C plus C, cancel. The answer for this is 0. For this also it is 0. So that is what we have done in question 3. Here, plus B minus B will get cancelled. You cannot cancel minus B, you will add them. That gives you minus 2B, right? You cannot cancel B plus B. Same signs you cannot cancel, okay? B plus B gives you 2B here. You can only cancel when you see the same variables or same numbers with two different signs, plus and minus. Yeah, that is when you can cancel those variables or numbers. Clear? Now, question 4, that is M plus M minus M minus M. So yeah, now you guys tell me, what do? We have two positive m's and two negative m's. Can we cancel them? Right, we can cancel them. One positive m, one negative m. Another positive m, another negative m. So the answer for this is 0. Here, this is how you do it. Now let's look at the question 3. Let's look at the question C. 3x can be written as 3 times x, or in full as x plus x plus x. Write in full for 4m and 5y. How do we do that? That's easy. Let's do it. Okay, so what is the first, what is the example he explained? See, he has taken 3x, right? Just observe the steps and you have to apply the same method for 4m and 5m. That's it. So how did he take 3x first? 3 times x. 3 times x is nothing but, that means we have how many x's? We have 3 x's, right? That it can also be written as x plus x plus x. Yeah. Now let's take the question which is 4m. How can you write 4m as? What is the second step? 4 times m. What does 4 times m mean? That means we have 4 m's here, right? Which can also be written as 4m plus m plus m plus m. Right? Understood? Now let's do the question 2, which is 5y. How can you write 5y as? That's right. It can be written as 5 times y. That means how many y's do we have here? Exactly, that's right. We have 5 y's. That gives us y plus y plus y plus y. That's it. Understood? How to simplify the expression? Okay, good. Now let's look at the question 2, which is workout. What is question 2? Work out these problems. 2a, it is minus 8 plus 10. How do you solve minus 8 plus 10? Which we did this. When you see two different signs, that means you need to do subtraction. 10 minus 8 gives us what? That's right, it is 2. And what is the greater number we have here? 10. That means your result will also be positive. B, 4 minus 12. Do normal subtraction. When you see two different signs, you can do just normal subtraction. You don't have to follow 4 minus 12. You can also do 12 minus 4. Then in the next step, you can look which number is greater and then take the sign of that number. Okay. So what is 12 minus 4? That's right. It is 8. So what is the greater number we have here? 12. So our result will also be a negative number, which is minus 8. Now C, 3 plus minus 9. So when we have two signs next to each other, what is the first thing we do? We multiply the signs, right? So 3 plus into minus is minus 9. What is 9 minus 3? Right, it is 6. And since 9 is a greater number and it has negative sign, that is why our result will also be a negative number. Clear? Now question D, minus 3 minus 4. What do we see here? We have the same signs for both the numbers. Whenever we have the same signs, that is when we add those numbers. We do not subtract the numbers, right? When we see two same signs for the numbers, then we add those numbers. 3 plus 4, 7. And we take the sign from the question, which is negative. The answer for this is minus 7. Next, E, minus 7. Let's do here. What is the question? E, minus 7 minus of minus 5. Yeah, so here again we see two different signs next to each other, so that gives us minus 7. Minus into minus is plus 5, right? So 7 minus 5 is what? That's right, it is 2. And the greater number is 7 and it is a negative number. That is why our result will also be a negative number. Clear? Now question F, minus 1 plus minus 8. Minus 1 plus into minus, minus 8. Minus 1 minus 8. Same signs and different numbers. When we have same signs for both the numbers, what do? We add those numbers, right? 8 plus 1 is what? 9. But we take the sign from the numbers. So that gives us minus 9. Clear? So clear? Good. So this is how we do it. What is the question 3 we have here? Let's look at the question 3. What is the area of a rectangle of length 12 centimeter and width 8 centimeter? Okay, so here we are solving the area of a rectangle. So before we start the areas, I just want you to tell the formula for area of a rectangle. What is the area of a rectangle formula? Area of a rectangle is what? L times B. That means length times breadth or width. Okay. So what is the length we have in our question? That is 12 centimeter, right? And what is the width we have? Breadth or width. You can write that in any way. Okay, it can be breadth or it can be width. Breadth and width both are same. So what is the width we have here? 8 centimeter, right? So what do we have to do? L times W. That means we need to multiply the numbers. 12 times 8. So what is 12 times 8? Let's multiply. 12 times 8. 8 2s are 16. 8 1s are 8. 8 plus 1, 9. It is 96. 12 times 8 is 96. Yeah. So the area of a rectangle equals what? 96 centimeter square. Always remember, you need to show the units. In the question, the units are centimeters. Since we are finding the area for that, area is always a square. Okay, so that is why we take 96 centimeter square. What if you are finding a perimeter for the rectangle? You do not put a square. Only for area you take square in your units, but for perimeter is just, the units with centimeter. If it's centimeter, then you just simply write centimeter. If it's meter, then you simply write meter, but with no square. Clear? Only for area you take square. For perimeter you don't take a square. Now question 4. So this is question 3. Yeah. Now question 4. Find the perimeter of the figure. What is the perimeter? Perimeter is something you add all the sides. You simply add all the sides. Okay. What is the perimeter of a rectangle? Let me just take an example of perimeter of a rectangle. Okay. So what is the perimeter of a rectangle formula? 2 times L plus B. Okay. Why? What does that mean? 2 times L plus B. That means we have 2 lengths and 2 breadths or widths. Okay. What is the shape of a rectangle? It is this, right? Rectangle has 2 lengths. This is 1 length and this is 1 length, and this is 1 breadth and this is 1 breadth, right? So these are parallel sides. We have two parallel lengths and 2 parallel breadths. Yeah. So that is why in perimeter what do? We add all these sides. We add length, 2 lengths and 2 breadths. We just simply add L plus B plus B. Perimeter is something where you add all the sides. Yeah. We can write L plus B as 2 times L plus B. Understood? Which can be 2L plus 2B. It is distributive property. Remember? So 2L plus 2B is nothing but what? How can you write 2L? We just solve the expressions, right? How can you write 2L? L plus L plus, how can you write 2B? That means we have 2 B's. B plus B. So ultimately we will get 2L plus 2B, which can also be written as, take 2 common outside, 2 times L plus B. Did we not get the same thing? It's the same thing, right? There is no difference. Now let's solve the question 4. So what do we have here? We have a shape with different sides and different lengths. If you are finding a perimeter of the figure, what do? You simply add all those sides. Okay. So that gives us what? 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 5. So what is the answer for this? 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 2, 9. 9 plus 5, 14. So the answer for the question 4 is 14. And the units, what are the units here? Centimeter, right? So 14 centimeter. That's it. So the perimeter of the given figure is 14 centimeter. That is your question 4. Understood? Clear? I hope you understood this. Okay, that's it for today. Yeah, tomorrow we are going to start with the exercise problems. Okay, the actual expressions, how to solve them. We have word problems here. Okay, so we are going to start with our exercise tomorrow. I hope you understood how to solve these expressions. Yeah, so based on this, if you are clear with the concept, then it will be easy for you to solve the exercise problems. So tomorrow we are going to start with exercise 2A, then exercise 2B. So how many exercises do we have in this chapter? We have in this chapter we have 8 exercises. So the exercise ends at H, okay, which is mixed questions. So it is like, you know, combination of all the problems what you have solved in your previous exercises. Yeah, okay, so together we have 8 exercises in this chapter. So tomorrow for our next session we are going to solve exercise 2A. Yeah, I just hope you understood what all I have explained you today. Yeah, the basic expressions you understood, right? So please try to make your own problems based on area of rectangles and perimeter of rectangle or perimeter of any other shape you want. Okay kiddos, that's it for today. See you in the next session with a new exercise. Yeah, chalo, take care. Bye bye.